Hey there, guys. It's Mia here. I am so excited, as always. I'm so excited about this live today. I'm excited because I know that it's going to support someone. And I want you to know this, that what you are looking for, that next level of success, that customer, that new way to market, that six-figure business, the stability, financial stability in your company, what you are looking for is looking for you. And I'm going to prove it to you today. I'm Mia Redrick, a business and life consultant. And many of you know that I got started my company over 20 years ago. And I simply made a decision. I made a decision to go looking for what I wanted to do, which was I wanted to build a business from the comfort of my home. I wanted that business to be time rich, meaning not trading time for dollars in the majority of what I did. I wanted to be able to be available to my family. I wanted to be able to command top prices based on my expertise. And I wanted to build a business that would allow me to get free, but not just that, to also stay free. So if you've ever said you want any of those things, what I'm going to talk about today is absolutely for you. I was thinking about this today. This morning, I went outside and I'm going to get a greenhouse. And I was measuring the space, visually, just getting an idea. And I was like, what I'm looking for is always looking for me. And the things that I've seen in my life over the last 20 years, which is to be able to run that business from the comfort of my home anywhere that I choose is a reality. To be able to earn multi-millions of dollars in my company, to be able to pay it forward with my talents and watch my clients earn multi-millions of dollars, to more importantly, see my clients be able to build a business that has created options for them, whether that looked like replacing their income so that they could come home full time, or whether it looks like um, leaving what they thought was impossible. Maybe for some, I have some clients who have left their location where they were living and moved to a different country to live, or moved to a different state to live. Now they get to live life on their own terms. I have clients who decided that they wanted to run a business instead of having a job as their primary income. That's pretty amazing to me. I love that, right? So what we're going to talk about today is that what you're looking for, you're going to find. And I can tell you that this is true. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to teach these lessons, but just simply sharing my story, as always, I think is one of the best ways for me to share with you what is possible. Now, here's my story for those of you who are just meeting me. When I got started 20 years ago, I did not have a product. I did not know that I wanted to be a coach. I didn't know anything about the online space. I was a trainer, corporate trainer. That's my background. And I was really amazing at that. And I am really amazing at that. And I simply made a decision that one day I wanted to look for opportunities to run my own business. I just decided it. And there was no evidence, there was no proof that it would work. There was no certainty that what I was going to launch was going to work. But I trusted myself to know that one of the things that I was looking for, and notice that I'm going to say looking for a lot today. You guys write hashtag looking for. I was looking to be fully expressed in my work. What I felt like any job that I had, I couldn't be all of me. And maybe you said the same thing. Like, you're like, yeah, I love what I do professionally, but there's this other creative part, or there's this other spiritual part of me. That was me. And I was like, I'm really great at mindset and helping people really detach from beliefs that have kept them stuck, or to look at themselves in smaller ways. I am a great teacher, and I want to figure out how to support people in my way. And so that's exactly what I did. I decided to start my initial business as a mom coach. And I had no clients, no curriculum, but I had this one thought. I was looking to work from the comfort of my home. So I didn't want to build a business that would require me to go on the road. Does that make sense, right? Didn't want to go on the road. like so many coaches do, as a speaker to build a coaching practice. Didn't want to do that. My kids were young. So I was looking for ways to be able to market from the comfort of my home and attract my clients, okay, who were moms. So that was very important to me. And I'm happy to say 20 years later, I work from the comfort of my home, always have worked from the comfort of my home before work from anywhere was a thing. It's what I've done. And I learned, because I was looking for it, how to bring my clients to me. And I'm going to use these examples today because I know that there's something I'm going to say it's going to make you think outside of the box. The reason I found what I was looking for was because I had certainty around what I was looking for. And I wasn't optional about how I wanted to work. I wanted to work from the comfort of my home. And I want you to think about the same. I want you to think, if you are that person and you've been saying, I want to work from the comfort of my home, and maybe you've started your business, but the way that you launched, you didn't launch it working from the comfort of your home. You launched it getting on the road or starting as a speaker or running from one networking event to the other. I didn't do that. I literally said, I want to build my business and work from the comfort of my home. And I said, what I'm looking for are teachers that live that way. So I started hiring and associating with people who were working from the comfort of their home, because I was looking for that as an option. And that was the only option for me. Does that make sense? So every single mentor I've had have always been free. And I always said, look, if you're not free, you can't teach me. And I think that's one really important lesson why so many people don't get themselves free, and more importantly, stay free, is because what they're looking for often isn't what they found. Like that you're looking for one thing and then you choose something else that's not congruent with what you're looking for. And as a result of me stepping into that, knowing what I was looking for, I ended up mentoring with tons of other coaches who all were free. And they taught me many different ways to grow a business online and market myself and bring that client to me. And that was called success. And so the first thing I want you to write down here is, what are you looking for? Like, what am I looking for? That's the first thing. And the second thing that I was looking for was, I wanted to run a business, and I wanted to work with women who were moms and that were sharp and they were smart, and they had made a decision maybe to be a stay-at-home mom, or they had made a decision, they were working mom, that they also wanted to make sure that they grew personally. So the second thing that I was looking for were women who had a strong sense of themselves, and because I have a strong sense of myself. And I was a woman that had figured out systems for myself on how, in order for me to be a great mom, I believe that the growing that I did for myself, the personal growth, things that I did for myself, the books I read, the things I see on TV, the kind of investments that I would make in myself, ultimately my kids would be the benefactors of that growth. And I was looking for women who were looking for the same. And I was very specific around that. And because of it, guess what? I found them. And I say this to you because if you're already in business or you're starting your business, who are you looking for? A lot of times what I hear from others, they're looking for everybody. They're not really sure or certain around who they're looking for. But I was looking for women who were sharp already, who already had significant success in their life, who loved being a mom, but wanted to grow in their own identity. And they were the only people I was looking for. I only had eyes for those individuals. And you know what happened? They came. And they came in record numbers. I ended up writing a book. I ended up writing several books, 3 books. But I ended up writing a book called Time for Mommy, 5 Essential Strategies for Mother's Self-Care. And it took me on an incredible journey, which allowed me to land 2 opportunities, be signed talent to 2 Emmy-nominated and nationally syndicated television shows. And I share this with you because one of the things that I learned was that because I was looking for ways to be able to get in front of more of the moms that I wanted to serve, I found them. Now, I want to just pause for a second and make sure you guys can hear me, because on my screen, The screen has stopped. One second. Let's see. Okay. All right. So the screen has stopped. Okay. So it's still working though. All right. So that's what I was looking for, and that's what I found. All right. And so it's really interesting. I get signed to the 2 Emmy-nominated nationally syndicated television shows. I end up doing multiple corporate deals with large Fortune 100 and 500 brands as the mom strategist. I stepped inside of my dream on the way to looking for exactly what I wanted without compromising, without dumbing down, without overworking what it is that I wanted to do. Does that make sense? Okay. And I hope this is really supporting you and understanding that, like, one of the things that's really important as we step into what we want is to be really clear about what that is. And I think so often we don't get what we want because we don't know what we're looking for. And I thought today, if I could come here and share this story, and maybe as a result of me sharing my journey and what I was looking for, you could see that the reason that 20 years later the business continued to grow was because I had certainty around what I was looking for. And when we're certain around what we're looking for, that very thing finds us. And when we're uncertain around what we're looking for, that very thing finds us also. Does that make sense? So if it's making sense, I want you to write, it's making sense. I'm following this, Mia, and this is resonating. And that's my goal today. Today, what I'm talking about very simply is what you are looking for is looking for you. And I found that to be true in every aspect of running my business, my company, in my life personally, as well as professionally. And I hope that as a result of me sharing with you today from my heart, this journey of how to think differently about what you're looking for. I wanted to do it because so often I hear that, me, I'm doing the work, like, and nobody's coming, and it's like, but what are you looking for? Or who are you looking for? What are you looking for? Because for me, I was always really certain around what I was looking for. And I built an amazing coaching practice. And then many of those women had watched me build the business from scratch, become a television personality, and to also close corporate deals. And many of them then said, can you show me how to build a business? And I stepped into it and said yes. And I decided that what I was looking for were women who wanted to be giant for themselves. They wanted to take their background, their gifts, their talents, their expertise, and they were very much like me. Like, I didn't feel like in my work situation, I was fully expressed, that I fully had the opportunity to be all of Mia. Okay, sure, I had the opportunity to train and motivate individuals, but there was this other piece of my skill and my ability to get people to see themselves as they could not see themselves, people who were ready. And I wanted to have that be a part of my work. I wanted that to be a part of my life. I wanted to do that from the comfort of my home. Do you understand where I'm coming from? What I'm telling you today is that what I was looking for me. So these women always said, there was always an echo, like, can you show me how? Right? Tell me how. And ultimately, when we're building a business and we're building a life, we're looking to be attractive to people who see what it is that we do. And that can only happen by you being certain around what it is that you do and what you're really great at. Okay. Even if you're in transition in your business, this is making sense, you guys. You following me? Okay. So I then say, yeah, okay, I absolutely support women in being able to replace their income, to be able to come up with different models to earn, show them how to scale themselves, their life, to how to build a business based on leverage. Because for me, one of the biggest things that happened that I didn't know was going to happen, I desired it, was that if someone would have told me 20 years ago, you could build a business, you could work 4 or 5 hours a day in that business, Monday through Friday, and you could make millions of dollars doing that. Like, and you could do all of that from the comfort of your home or anywhere you choose in the world. I wouldn't have believed them necessarily. It's something I desired, but I did not necessarily start with this idea that I'm going to be this multi-million-dollar coach. I did not think that. Okay. I started simply with this idea that what I was looking for was to change the lives deeply of women. And I grew into a woman that, as I created tremendous results for myself, and I had a great ability to teach, train, and coach in my own authenticity, in my own power, not duplicating what other people were doing, just the things that I had done myself, had an ability to communicate that to others, and they could get the same results or more. Then I realized that, wow, what I was looking for were more women who had the talent, who had the skill, and they just needed the exact way to do it, not necessarily a formula, because formulas do work, but sometimes you don't need a formula. Sometimes you need a vision and a strategy around how to take what you do and put it in a whole different structure to lean forward. And let me explain. We're talking today about what you're looking for is looking for you. And for those of you who are my podcasters, my bloggers, my people who are posting all the time, going live all the time, and you're not seeing any results, and you're down on yourself, or you're not getting the sales, or you're not getting the appointments, and you're trying to figure out what is going on. I promise you that the reason it's not working is because what you are looking for is looking for you. So you might be looking for hard. You might be looking for hustle. You might be looking for a grind. You might be looking for validation. And so everything that you say when you're talking to the people that you want to work with is like, you like me, right? You think I'm good, right? You think this is okay, right? If you're looking for those things, you're going to find those things, and you're going to find them in your results. I'm telling you. All right. See, hear me on this. When I was looking for success and I didn't know how to build an online business, what I realized was, like, I did not know, Mia did not know how to run a business from the comfort of her home. I had only worked for other organizations. I only knew how to work with people, seeing them, okay, in a business space. I did not know how to do anything online at all. So I had to look for ways to do that. And I didn't decide that the way that I wanted to build a business and financial freedom was looking for it on my own. I did not do self-teaching. I didn't do it. Okay. I still don't do it. Okay. Because I valued my time. I was looking for the shortcut. That's what I was looking for. And so I started to look at people who were living a life that I wanted to live, not from a place of coveting, but as an example for me to see visually, like, what was possible. And therefore I stepped into mentorship with tons of other individuals who were free, who could teach me what they did. I was looking for that. I knew that I had to invest to learn how to do that. One of the things that I was looking for was to work with people who would be willing to pay me for my expertise to change their life, right? Or to change their business. So I knew that if I was looking for individuals to do that, I had to look for people who were going to charge me, okay, so that I could walk through that process myself. There's so many people who want to create tremendous success. And one of the things that happens is, and I'll break down a couple of different scenarios of what it could look like for you, is that you're looking for success, but the reason that you haven't gotten the success you want is because you've been looking for the $5 challenge. You know what I mean? You've been looking for the thing you can glean. You've been looking for someone on someone else's website to figure out what the secret is. You've been looking in someone else's groups, trying to DM their people. You've been looking for significance. Maybe you're writing and you're podcasting and hoping and praying as a strategy, but I can tell you that for me, I was looking for the answers. And so the shortcut for me was investing in the answers. It was never me looking for the next thing to figure out, or the next thing to funnel to build myself, or website to build. I'll give you an example. I last year decided, as an experiment with self, I was like, okay, self, I have done over 8,000 live videos over the years. Can you imagine? And I was terrified when I first started doing lives. I thought they had to be perfect. They don't have to be perfect. You just have to do them. But I decided last year I'm going to do an experiment. I'm not going to go live. I believe that I can grow my business because I am looking for a new way to attract people. And I don't believe that the only way is for me to go live. And the only way for me to know that is not to go live. And so I did this very thing. I show my clients all the time the number of leads that we have coming in every single day. I did 12 lives last year, 12, the entire year. And what was interesting to me was I did 12 lives. We grew our list about 30%, about 33% of people, because what I was looking for was another way to attract people that wasn't relying on my ability to perform. I was looking for a way to leverage what I had already done in tremendous ways and allow that to work for me. I was looking for just time to do something different inside the business, inside of my business, as I made some internal changes and some innovative changes inside of my company through my VIP days. I was excited about that. I wanted to put the time and the energy into it. I was looking for that. And you know what happened? As a result of looking for those things, guess what? I found them. I found a new system to attract clients each and every week without going live. I found tons of individuals who said, Mia, I want to do VIP days with you more consistently, because in the past, it wasn't an offering that I offered, usually more than 10 people a year. I offered that to them, but my kids are going away to school and I wanted to shift my business so I could touch and feel people in a different kind of way. I had more time to do that. So I found that people wanted to do that with me too. See, I was looking for it. And I share that with you because what you are looking for is looking for you. It is. But a lot of times when we are not creating the success we want, you have to understand it's probably what you're looking for right now that you're also attracting. And if you are busy doing a podcast trying to prove to everybody that you're the expert, you are the expert. Now, if your intention in doing a podcast, let's say, for example, is so that you can touch the hearts of people to elevate whatever your purpose is, that's different. But if you're there to prove who you are, to seek validation, that is exactly what you will find. Today, what I'm talking about is that what you're looking for is looking for you. It's an unconventional live. I'm just sharing from my heart something that I know really supported me. And I hope that as a result of you hearing this thinking, that it really gets you to think about, what are you looking for? What have you been looking for? And that's found you. One of the things that I was looking for was a business that would allow me to travel. And, I wanted a business that I could run anywhere I wanted to. And not last year, the year before that, I did about 40 days in another country, and 45 days, I think it was, in different countries. And that was something I was looking for. I wanted a business that would allow me the freedom to be able to work anywhere that I wanted to. I wanted to be able to travel the world with my family at a very high level. And I wanted a business that would allow me the freedom to be able to do that. I was looking for that. Does that make sense? And as a result of that, I found it. I wasn't looking for things I didn't want. I think you can also apply a lot of what I'm saying in terms of like relationships. One of the things that I'm always looking for in all of the relationships that I have is honesty, truth, trust, compassion, empathy, right? Like cheerleaders. And one of the things that has happened in my life is that I have access to that in tremendous ways because I was looking for that. And anything that is incongruent with that drops off, it falls away. It can't stay. You see, you got to understand that sometimes the struggle is real, and it's only real because of what you're looking for. Sometimes if you have a belief when you wake up in the morning that finding clients is difficult, that's what you're looking for. And guess what you're going to find? this, it's going to be very difficult. If you have a belief that you need to, do a bunch of lives in order for you to be attractive to your audience, guess what you're going to find? It's going to be difficult. I think one of the beliefs today, because there's, a lot of people who I've worked with who work in corporate, who have deals, a lot of times some things are happening, right, within corporations. And I had a client who came to me and was like, they canceled this particular contract I have, or postponed it because of what's going on with some of the DEI changes. And she was like, what am I going to do? And I said, well, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to change what you're looking for. Does that make sense? We're not looking for companies that are saying no. We are looking for individuals. We're looking for companies that are saying yes. All right. And you want to position yourself mentally to be looking for the things you're looking for and not steeped in finding the things that you do not want. Does that make sense? So many people don't realize that you are already creating results, but sometimes the results you're creating are based on what you've been looking for. Let's say you do a live like this and, one person's on your live and you're just like, nobody's here. That's what you're looking for. That means that you don't understand the power of compounded success with lives over time. I mean, my lives have millions of people have seen my lives over the years, and they continue to see the same lives from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, or 20 years ago. And maybe when I was on that live, only one person was there. Many individuals, as a result of seeing my broadcast, have become customers who've gotten to know me better, who've been able to say, yes, you're my person, right? To help them with their next level of success. What are you looking for? You see, if you look at something like that and you decide for yourself, I'm not going live anymore, it's not working. Or you send out one pitch email and to work with someone and they don't respond back and you say, it's not working. That's what you are looking for. People who create success look for things that are different. I remember when I started my company, I had a desire to run this business from my house. And this is a time when no one's really running a business from their house. There is no Zoom. There is not Facebook Live. There's no Periscope. There's no LinkedIn Lives, or YouTube wasn't operating in the exact same way. For the most part, you were shooting a video by yourself and you were posting that video on YouTube, right? But it wasn't the same level of interaction. We had Twitter, right? I remember that during that time, and I had decided that I wanted to do television, and I had no television offers on the table at the time. And I used to take my video camera and I would just shoot myself doing TV, like I was doing, segments, right? And because I was looking for the thing that I wanted that hadn't manifested yet. And my question is, like, in your free time, how are you practicing? How are you getting ready for the thing you're looking for? We're talking today about what are you looking for? And while it's so basic, the discussion, it is super important. I can tell you that, I have a client who, I love her, but I have a client who, one of the things she was looking for last year was to work less physically with her clients. What she was looking for was to replace her current business model with a way to give herself more time. And I was just talking to her the other day, and we did exactly that. So one client would pay her somewhere between $200 to $300. I showed her how to package what she was doing differently into a $3,500 offer. She has closed tons of individuals, tens of thousands of dollars she's earned selling that package, which replaces 7 to 10 clients. Come on. Can you imagine? She was looking for that. That's why she found it. If she thought it was impossible, she wouldn't have made an investment in herself. She wouldn't have taken on the new model that I came up with for her to be able to do it, implement it. So a lot of times we know what to do, but we don't do it because we're not looking for that level of success. We're not looking for that next level of growth. I'll give you another example. For those of you who've worked with coaches, or maybe you've worked with me even over the years, you created tremendous success. Now, success can look a lot of ways. It can be that you implement more because your mindset's different and you show up in bigger ways, taller ways for yourself. Success could look like monetary success. Success could look like, your reach is bigger. All the business success that you desire. Success could look like your life looks different. You feel differently in your life, right? Success, it could be tons of those things. And imagine if you are one of those individuals that you have been in a program, you've been in a coaching experience of some sort, and it created results for you. And you're like, I got it. And then you begin to watch your success dwindle. And you begin to watch your beliefs dwindle because you decide to go on your own and you don't change that. I can tell you for sure that what you're looking for has found you. What you're looking for is always looking for you. So in some ways, sometimes those individuals couldn't believe the success that they created. And so they made themselves a believer that it wasn't a fluke, it was an accident, that they couldn't create sustainable success. But what if you were looking for sustainable success? Because for me, that's how how I choose my coaches and my mentors and things like that. I think, look, where was I? How was I? How did that experience change who Mia was in the results and the outcomes that Mia created? And I'm going to always lean into what has changed me, where I've gotten results, where I've gotten a return. I'm not going to go back because what I'm looking for is looking for me. Does that make sense? And I think sometimes we never really think about it from that perspective. A lot of times people think about almost like growing themselves as like school, where you get to the 12th grade and you're like, okay. And then you choose whatever that next path is going to be for yourself. Personal growth doesn't work like that. We are always in a cycle of changing and choosing whatever that next level looks like. And if that's you, I want you to think about that. Like, what are you looking for? Because it's looking for you. It's what you're dealing with right now, and I always marvel at things like that when I hear stories from people who, new prospects will tell me like, I ran this business and I had great success. I've gotten myself to whatever 6 figures. And then by the time they come back to me or they come to me from someone else, and I'm like, well, what happened? They're like, well, I went on my own. I'm like, man, you were working with that woman and you created significant success. And as a result of that, you were looking for what? Were you looking to make yourself a believer that you're not great, right? That you're not awesome, that you're not giant, right? That you can't do it because if you were looking for success again, when you started to dwindle, the first thing you would do is go back where you were the strongest. That's what you would do if you were looking for that. Does that make sense? I know that there's somebody listening to me right now and you're saying, but Mia, like I can do this. Like I'm smart, I'm sharp, I'm capable. It's true. Maybe what you're looking for is to prove to yourself that, you know what I mean, that you have to do everything. And maybe you need to ask a different question of yourself. So this was not the question I had. For me, what I was looking for was ease and grace. I wanted to build what I had, right, with the time that I had it, with the resources that I had, in the most streamlined way, the quickest and deepest way possible. That's what I was looking for. And because that's what I was looking for, that's what I found. I want to open the floor really quickly and see, are there any questions or comments that you guys had for me? And if you're watching the replay, I'm glad that you're here. Hashtag, right? What are you looking for? What have you been looking for? Because I can tell you that whatever you're looking for, that is what is around you. That's what you're creating. Did my dog, he was in his bed and he left. Whatever you're looking for is what is in front of you. And you're the only person that can change it based on what you're looking for. When I get up in the morning, what I'm looking for is to be the highest and tallest version of myself. And what I'm looking for is the opportunity to support a woman who believes in self-investment first, in herself, in every aspect, time, effort, and energy. Okay. I'm looking for that person who takes 100% responsibility for the results in the transformation of life. Like, I'm looking for the person that's willing to be accountable, not a coward, okay, to achieve what she wants for the next level. I'm looking for that person who recognizes the giant within them and they're willing to do the work around it. I'm looking for that. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to live the greatest version of my life each and every day. And it's my responsibility. That's what I'm looking for. What are you looking for? When you think about what are you looking for each and every day, and think about the parts of your life that need to be elevated, and ask yourself, like yesterday, what were you looking for? So let's say you wanted to lose weight and you said, "Mia, when I want to be 20 pounds lighter." Okay, well, what were you looking for? What are you looking for? Are you looking for a trainer? Okay, you know what I mean? Are you looking for some online program that you can do that you love? Are you looking at healthy ways to eat? Are you looking at juicing? What are you looking for to make the things that you say true? And I can tell you that you're finding exactly what you want based on what you're looking for. I hope that there's something that I've said today that has supported you in making that decision that you deserve it. You deserve all great things. And if I can support you in some way, I want to encourage you to reach out. You can DM me, ready. Inbox me, I'm ready. We have a great offerings for the right person who's ready to step into the next and highest version of herself, who's 100% ready, and she is looking for answers, mentorship that's proven, authenticity. She's looking for truth. She's looking for someone that helps her get out of her way. Looking for that. She's looking to invest and honor all of her investments without excuses. She's looking to be an integral person. She's looking to be the highest version of herself. She understands she's great, but she's looking for that next level. She's looking to do the work. She's looking to be accountable. She's looking to be an example. She's looking to create impact. What are you looking for? And I can tell you that when you answer that question, even as I go through those things, and when you answer that question, you'll know based on what your behaviors are next, whether or not that's true for you. Because what I was looking for was always looking for me. So the moment that I knew what I was looking for and I sought it out, I found it. All right. And a lot of you haven't found what you want. You haven't found it because you haven't been really looking for it. Maybe you've been like, I'm looking for help, but I want someone to mentor me for free. Or I'm looking for support, but I don't want a full solution. I'm breaking it down. And I'm looking for, I want to work with you, Mia, but not for 3 months, right? So you're looking to change your life. It's just got to be convenient to do it, right? If that's you, that's what you're getting. And you see that 3 months from now, right? 3 months ago, you said the same thing. And 3 months from now, you'll be in the exact same place because what you're looking for is convenience. You're not necessarily looking for answers. You're not necessarily looking for support. You're looking for convenience. And when you look for convenience, you find it. When you're looking for answers, you find it. When you're looking for accountability, it's there. You can find it. But you'll never find what you're looking for, right? Not looking for it. Oh, thank you, Black Fertility. Oh, right. She said that's what you're looking for. I just saw your message. So, it's so true, right? Like literally, we find what we're looking for. And a lot of times we don't think that the things that we are creating in our life and in our world are direct result of what we've been looking for. If we are afraid to sell, I have clients that they're like, I haven't sold anything this week. I'm like, well, who did you talk to? Didn't call anybody. Didn't write anybody. What were you looking for? Well, what I was looking for, I'll answer it, was I was looking for people not to tell me no. What I was looking for was not to face rejection. What I was looking for was safety. Does that make sense? And you will always find always 100% find what you are looking for. And it's just flat true. And I know that there's something that I've said that really will resonate with those of you who have watched my lives over the years. There's tons of them. And I always speak 100% from my heart. It's the only thing I know how to do. Just be me. Okay. And share with you the journey, which, everything that I have done, whether for myself or with other individuals who've created significant results, I show you. I don't just tell you, I show you. And I've done it myself. Right. And it's something that I know. And I thought about it this morning when I was looking at my greenhouse, and I was like, you know what? What you are looking for is looking for you. And it is the thing that is sitting directly in front of you. For those of you who've been saying, listen, Mia, I would love to understand how I can work with you. I'm going to post an option here. It's called the Giant Leap. And the Giant Leap is awesome. I have to say so myself. It includes a 90-minute consult with me, as well as my master training, which hundreds of women have gone through, called the Giant Experience Master Training. And it'll teach you how to package, price, position, and find buyers. It will teach you that. Even if you don't know what your product is, you don't know how to monetize what you're doing, the background, the skill set of who you are and what you do and what you bring to the table. You also get access to join us for 4 weeks in a community setting where I'll answer your questions specifically each and every week on how to get things going in your business. What you are looking for will find you. But you have to make that decision that you're ready for the success that you want. And, you want to stop making things harder than they need to be or making excuses about it. It's time. All right. So I hope that there's something I've said to support you guys. I look forward to seeing your comments here, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great and amazing rest of your day. I thought my dog was going to make a cameo because you see my dog's bed back there, but he decided that he's going to sleep right here. That's it. He'll make a guest appearance next time. All right. I love you guys. Have a great, amazing day. Are you interested in packaging your knowledge into a high-ticket product on or offline? If your answer is yes, the Giant Experience is for you. Here's my story. I got started in my business over 20 years ago, and I simply made the decision to go to work as myself. And maybe you have been wondering how you can take all of those years of experience, your knowledge, or your degrees, and put them to use for yourself and to package it into a monetizable structure. That was me 20 years ago. I wanted to figure out how to take my background as a corporate trainer, and I realized that so many women wanted to know exactly how I was able to write best-selling books, and having done partnerships with both Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 companies and get signed to media, Emmy-nominated and nationally syndicated television shows as the mom strategist. And so I decided to equally transfer what I knew how to do to them. And I built out a coaching practice that today has coached thousands of women just like you who are ambitious, smart, and sharp, highly actionable, go-getters. And they wanted to figure out how they could go to work for themselves.